Hmm. Well, holy damn. People up in this business. Sounds good. Thanks, Kamal. Appreciate it. RW. RW, you don't happen to be somebody named Anthony from Arizona, are you? Who went to college with me? Obviously, you know who I am. Haven't seen many people name that. 60 bucks, 2022, or yeah, it could be. It's Kamal. So about Bitcoin, it's whenever Bitcoin gets somewhere close to its upper trend line. So whenever Bitcoin gets to its upper trend line or somewhere close, it could be a trend line that's slightly lower than this. It could be a less aggressive of an angle, which is totally possible. And let's say it hits in 2023. Okay, so 2023, something like this, has another pump up only to about 110, has another crypto winter, then pumps real hard. The real pump happens, let's say spring, or actually winter, from fall 2022 to spring 2023. And it hits somewhere close to this trend line. When Bitcoin gets close to whatever would be a market cycle top of whatever sort, at that point, and it could be 2022, it might be 2024, I really don't know. I simply had strong reason to believe that the 4-year cycles were going to stay intact until it was clear that they weren't intact. And then I changed my tune, right? Like I changed my tune exactly as fast as the charts tell me to. So so I've already extended this. This was going to, no, I thought that was the new year. I already moved my January line. I moved it to next year already because it's clearly not going to hit those goals this calendar year. I guess I can delete that. I don't need that. All right. Crackheads are bulls by nature. Yeah, but you can't make money without the bears, though. And you should always be a bear at some point in your journey here. But so whenever Bitcoin goes to that, I did this within my community. But watch, there are 3 things that connect. So the first thing is the Bitcoin chart suggests that sometimes rather soon, within the next 5 years, a market cycle top will be somewhere between these 2 lines, something to that effect. So let's say a few years out, and that brings it to 275K. That's a fairly reasonable assumption to make in one chart. Within a few years, 275K. Another thing to look at is Viacoin versus Bitcoin. So this is going to be the second connection. And you're going to see 3 things connect here. Viacoin, both of its bull runs came up to the same points versus Bitcoin. And the points at which these big pops happened were not at Bitcoin's market cycle highs. So it was after or before it hit a market cycle high. So Bitcoin hit its market cycle high when Viacoin was here. Right? So let's say that you were able to get, let's say Viacoin does something similar sometime in the future, 2023 or whatever. So the year 2023. Let's say that once it comes up here, Bitcoin had gotten to 275K but now is down to 160 because that's when Viacoin historically has hit up here is after or at a time where Bitcoin's not at a market cycle top. So let's take 0.000533 and I'll bring it over on the screen here in a second. 0.000533 times 150K. See that number? All right, so that's 2 connections of 3, but there's another connection. This is why it's so compelling. So I've only connected 2 charts. Let me connect the third. And I feel it's kind of undeniable after this point, but after the point I'm getting ready to show you. So when you go to VIA versus the dollar, and you look at how it's moved on this chart, guess I can erase these because that crap ain't happening anymore. You can say it is reasonable that at some point it's going to go back to the top. And that's by January 2023. That would put it at like $226, right? That'd be a monster ass run. But it'd actually be a smaller run than what it was from here to here by a mile. So Viacoin's already made this type of run, but actually much larger. So let's say it doesn't get all the way up there, but it gets somewhere, kind of close to the top here, right? So let's just circle somewhere around here like this, okay? And somewhere in the middle of that circle, I'll make a line, okay? That was a horrible line. Okay, let's do it like right there. Okay, now where did I make that line? And let's see if it's anywhere freaking close to the number that we just showed mathematically makes sense for the other charts. There it is. All right, there's my line. At $79. What was the number I just showed? There you go. So that's agreement among 3 charts with one preface, which could be a totally incorrect preface, that within 3 to 4 years or within 2 to 3 years, Bitcoin will be over $250,000. And that was not calculating Viacoin's price up high when Bitcoin was hitting that top, being realistic, not just being some moon boy. It was at a reasonable time. And it just all aligned. So, I don't know, you tell me. If that's not compelling, I don't know what it is. But so that's some of your mathematical secret sauce. But I'm glad you asked that. I mean, I'm not selling my Bitcoin until it's over $60. I'm not going to do it. Simply not going to do it. All right, who else has got some cool questions? Trias. Okay, yeah, we'll cover Trias. It'll be asked about a lot more. So, Kamal, that was a long-winded answer to your question. Timmy the Tooth. I don't know about the tooth. Timmy the busted nose. Here, check this out. Look, I hit myself hard. Hit myself hard being an idiot without goggles. I usually wear goggles, but I felt I was coming up from a diving pool from about 12 feet under, and I was going up the side of the pool trying to go kind of fast and come up with a little bit of speed, and I was filling up the side of the wall, but I forgot that there was a lip of concrete. And I tried to be like Ariel coming out of the ocean with my shells over my boobies. But and then I hit my face. So anyway, Timmy the red-nosed reindeer right now. It hurt too. Actually, no, it didn't hurt that bad. It felt crunchy. All right. All right. So somebody's talking about Trias. Let me make sure there aren't any other questions besides that, because that's going to be, I mean, Trias is kind of a thing of, a lot of folks around me have been into. We'll cover BEPRO for sure. Crackheads are bulls by nature. Yeah, well, I don't. Okay, so Ned, I don't know if crackheads are bulls by nature, but crackheads want to be in a trade by nature. So you could be a perma bear, right? You know, in a downtrend, you're just always trying to short, which honestly isn't that bad of an idea if you're picking strategic places to short. But there are some times where you're not for sure where it's going to go, and you should just be out of a trade, as opposed to always looking for that next score like a crackhead. So I feel that crackheads aren't necessarily bulls. They can be perma bears too, but they're always wanting to be in a trade. And sometimes that doesn't mean you're perma bear or perma bull. That just means you always want to be doing something, which is not good necessarily, unless some of that is learning. Like I wouldn't always be in a trade. That's about the worst thing for you. So, all right, crackheads or bulls. What are we thinking about? Yeah, we'll get to BEPRO and Trias here in a second. Don't worry. Look, that's all Trias target. Please check the video resolution. The current resolution is 1920 times 1040, which is not optimal. Well, thanks for letting me know. Why can't we just switch that here? Oh, goodness. All right. Give me a second here. Yeah, and I can't change it during the middle of a stream. All right. Well, whatever. All right. You haven't looked into it, that's all. Okay, so he says, I'm in a semi, I stay automatic. Money add, then multiply. Yeah, as long as you have patience, that's about what's going to happen in crypto if you don't buy glory. What do you think about okay, so we'll get tone, AXS, need my BEPRO. Okay, let's do Trias then BEPRO. Okay, so let's first identify which chart on Trias is the best to be looking at. Definitely not the weekly. It might be the 12-hour. Yep, I would look at Trias on the 12-hour time frame. Nothing else. No, I wouldn't say nothing else, but my main decisions would be based off that. And my main ideas. So, yeah, and ideas are what would lead to a potential action. But I think I would base my ideas of Trias off the 12-hour time frame. Yeah, it's hitting the sweet spots, and it looks to be getting a lot of things right. So check this out. Simply look at the 12-hour here and how well it's gotten price action. Let's just pick one line, the 21. Watch this. Look. Check it out. I think one of my cats just jump kicked the door from my barn to my office here. I mean, this 12-hour looks, I mean, and that's when it broke down too. And then that's the height, that's the height, that's the height, that's the height. Yeah, and so it actually looks like Trias is going to move up pretty definitively here. I think the whole market's getting ready to take a pretty major leg up. Yeah, it's closed multiple 12-hour candles above something that has been the clear ceiling, right? It's going to move up with a very, very, very high likelihood. So this is, so you just saw me do this live. I didn't already know this about Trias, but in moments that a bigger move or a change in the market can happen, similar to how you all spent a lot of time hunting for altcoins, you need to be hunting for which time frame makes sense to how your brain works when you look at a chart. Just flip through them like, like freaking cards in a deck. Just, nah, I don't like that one. No, I don't like that one. And then stop when you like something. It doesn't have to be what I choose. But I wanted to show you live. I just hunted something that this is absolutely how I would trade Trias until something else worked better. But I bet you money that there's nothing that works better on Trias than the 12-hour chart. So, and I think I just found that pretty quickly there, flipping through. So you should do the same thing. And if you don't have a paid for subscription on TradingView, I understand that obstacle. What you could do is you could use the 1 hour, and then for the EMA, instead of 21, multiply it by 12. What is that? So 210 to multiply it by 12. And I think it's going to be pretty similar. There you go. So you can still see the 12-hour 21, but you're seeing more of the chaos within each of the 12-hour candle. See that? I'm usually a lot faster at math than that. I think I can multiply every single combination of two-digit numbers in like under 3.5 or 4 seconds. But that's back when I used to train myself mentally as I was solving Rubik's cubes. I don't know if I can do it in under 4 seconds for everything now. But anyway, so if you don't have the paid for, this is the chart I'd be looking for. So I can't even remember what the hell your question was, but I know a lot of you got convinced to dump a lot of money into that asset, so I want to be as helpful as possible. There are a couple things at play. The first and most important thing at play, in a bullish sense, but you have to weigh these two things together. So I'm not going to give you a clear answer. I'm not going to give you one answer. It's an answer that will evolve, and it's growing. So I'm going to give you an egg, and it's going to grow, but I'm going to give you the egg now, for example, right? So you don't know if that chick coming out of the egg is going to have blonde hair and look like an idiot like I am, or be a brown-haired chick or whatever, right? So the monthly on Ethereum, and if you didn't watch my YouTube video, you might want to. The most recent one, that's bullish. Ethereum's monthly is pointing fairly decisively that the market's getting ready to move up pretty strong. And I think that's the strength of the move up will likely take until November to February to really start seeing all-time highs on both Ethereum and Bitcoin. So I think the strength will be in form of a U that skips along the monthly 10 and blasts off of the monthly 10. That's what I think is going to happen. So if yellow can be, let's make this like green. So green is price. And I think price is going to move sideways and skim off and blast off of the monthly 10 because of its posture. This posturing simply does not say it's going to break below it. It suggests the opposite pretty strongly. All right, so if you haven't seen my most recent YouTube video, it's only 16 minutes long. Watch it on ×2 speed. It's like 8-9 minutes, right? So that's the first thing. So it's possible that you have seen the worst on Trias and things move up relatively quickly, and dollar cost averaging right now, beginning now. Not so if you have $5,000, don't spend $5,000 on it now. Do like $500. And if it keeps going up, maybe do $200. It keeps going up, another $200. And then after a while, it's going to start going down. And then you throw some more at it, right? So with the idea that there might be some U-shape where there are some green candles on the monthly here, and then one red one, and then two green ones, and then it blasts off by about February is what I'm thinking, actually. January, February. You're going to have ups and downs in Trias as well. Okay? So you can dollar cost average with the idea that the market's going to turn around, but you have to know what you think is going to, you have to essentially base your decision off what, if you think this market's going to be in continued downtrend or if you think it's going to turn around. Because the answer I would give you would be totally different. All right. But in one aspect, there is a bullish scenario in which dollar cost averaging could be the correct answer after we see what plays out. What could be a correct answer also is that Trias with Ethereum and Bitcoin have a very classic bull trap, come back down. Bitcoin goes back down to 35K or 37K, 31K, 40K, something like that after screaming up to 49K. Then everything crashes down 20%, but Bitcoin stays above the middle of its bottom range. Then it flies up to like 80K, right? Something classic like that could happen, in which selling into a relief rally of Trias and picking horizontals at which to sell, and then with plans to buy back later as opposed to dollar cost averaging. So this is very different than dollar cost averaging. So if you think there's going to be a classic play of a bull trap and then who the hell knows what's after that, then you need to plan to sell in probably one of these boxes, if not both. So somewhere between 680 to 750. And then you probably want, depending on what you think. If you think stuff's going to go to the moon, then maybe you don't want to sell all of it. But personally, I would try to be about 70 to 80% out of my Trias by the time it hits $11. Because the way I would trade that is based off of the actual probabilities as I see as most probable out of the price movement. For example, I think that if Trias, so in the situation that Trias gets to this line, $11, let's just call it $11. I think that there is a 70% chance or greater that I will be able to buy it back lower than $11 within a reasonable time frame that is reasonable to me. Whether that's 1 minute or 1 hour or a month, it doesn't matter. So if you think if Trias hit $11 and you think it's a 90% chance that you'll be able to buy back lower within a reasonable time frame, say a month or 2 months, then sell 90% of it. That's what I would do. I'm not suggesting that anybody else does that because it could fly right back up. But if I believed personally that it had a 90% chance of falling from there, or even going up a little bit more, but then going below, I have a 90% chance of being able to buy below there, then that's how you would want to play that, is based off your own probabilities. I think there is a strong chance that that is a good profit-taking area. Even if the bull market does really continue, that's probably still going to be a good profit-taking area to some degree, whether that's selling 20% of what you got in Trias or 80% or something outside of that. But $11 is going to be a pretty good idea. But what I would do personally is I'd be selling in some middle heavy distributed area. I would already right now have all of my limit sells in. I would have them stacked up so that I'm 80% out by this point. So I would do something like sell, let's say, 30% right there, 5% here, 5% there, 10, 10, 15, 15, so on and so forth, a middle heavy distribution. So I got really specific with that one, but I know a lot of people are pretty heavy into it. Now, depending on how many people are viewing this, this live stream, there might be people front running you, right? Who want to get out here because I just said here, right? So screw it. I'm not waiting until it gets there. So you have to also take into consideration how many people are on the stream, 60, and it could affect that. Or maybe a lot of those people by the time Trias gets there are out and, you're selling a new blood or whoever, which is really the best time to sell. You're going to make the most money if you sell to new blood. Who's listening to YouTubers after something goes 6,000% up and they say you need exposure to this asset. Whew. See, I feel kind of bad, even though I let folks in BEPRO know to sell the exact top, literally the exact day, and then warning that 1 penny is very in the top 3, but I'm going to try to personally buy at 1.6. So I got the top right. I didn't say anything about buying up here, rather selling into relief rallies, and so even I feel bad about that, but that's nothing close to doing something like talking about BEPRO, how you need to be exposed to it here. You all know I didn't do that. Yes, my support line did break through, but I wasn't freaking I was telling people to sell. I mean, so hopefully I get a little bit of credit for that, even though not all my calls have been perfect. It broke through 1.6 cents massively. I think it's 80% down from there. It was a horrible call. It didn't work. But hopefully you can see that I have your best interest in mind in terms of having a profitable crypto journey. I told y'all to sell at the top. and I didn't mention anything about buying back until 1.5 to 2 cents. Until it came down significantly. I think that would be a 55 to 60% correction. So I didn't even mention the hint of buying back until a 60% correction. You see that? So anyway, BEPRO, I don't know. I'm going to start accumulating BEPRO. I've been compelled by my VIPs. We have so many live chats. They are all so pumped about it. They're so much more knowledgeable than I am. I think I'm going to start hoarding it. I really do think. But in order to hoard it, that doesn't necessarily mean I buy it now, right? If I think I can make more money off Bitcoin until Bitcoin gets to 60K, because I think BEPRO won't break above, let's say, 0.008 until Bitcoin's over 60K. Well, let's look at the percentage difference here. Yeah, that's actually a pretty big difference, 145%. Let's say Bitcoin 3L. So if I think I can make more money on this asset, which is essentially it moves 3 times faster than Bitcoin, and I'm almost exactly break even on my Sherpa account from my dollar cost averaging. You all see that I was right here in about 3 weeks, but I've been made fun of quite a bit, but you'll find out, just like the Veracity folks did about 45 days later. I guarantee it. No, I don't guarantee it, but that's what I'm betting on. Anyway, 145%. That would be equivalent to Bitcoin only getting to 40K, not 60K. So let's say this asset of 3L ended up performing equally back on its way up. So when Bitcoin's 58K, that the asset is here. I'm not saying that's going to be true. It could trade differently towards Bitcoin. I do not know that answer. But in this suggestion about BEPRO, how I would hoard it, the way I would hoard it is to make as much money as possible, as quickly as possible. And if that is not with BEPRO, then I will not buy BEPRO at that time. I will buy whatever I think will make me the fastest money. The money the fastest. And then I will buy BEPRO because it made money faster than BEPRO. So for example, if this asset were to perform the same way on the way up from current price, when Bitcoin is about 58K to 60K, that's 1,600%. It's a lot better. And so since I don't think that BEPRO will get past 0.008 before Bitcoin is above 60K, I would prefer to be in something like this. That's essentially like a leveraged Bitcoin without a liquidation point. Because then I could buy so much more BEPRO. So I'm not necessarily necessarily saying go buy BEPRO now or that I'm even buying it now. I actually bought a little bit more when it's at 0.005. Should have waited, but you know, sometimes you will go back in time and say, oh, I should have bought then, right? So never worry about dollar cost averaging a little too early. Don't worry about that. Which is why I'm totally not worried about buying this asset right. I've been given a lot of crap for buying it right here, actually. Yep, I bought it right at that point, right there. Which is about at the bottom of the range. I thought it was going to break out around that point. So I think I'm going to make more, even on my personal account. I've gotten in more of this because I think just up to 40K, this asset's going to perform pretty well. And I think it will stay toe-to-toe. So this was the 40K when Bitcoin went up to its daily 200. And that would be more than what BEPRO would be able to get me, even when Bitcoin is around 60K. So then I would use whatever I think I can make most money with to buy BEPRO. So I want to be very clear with that statement. But so I wouldn't be, you know, totally, you know, going gung-ho with BEPRO with all of my money. But if you haven't, you know, dollar cost averaged very much into this asset, this is a great time to do it. And you would be getting it at a better price than what I just rebought it. I was buying it right. Shit. I was buying it right here, thinking it was going to break up out of here. Pretty sure that's when I bought more. Yep. And during a live call, VIP Patreon live call, VIP, actually the person who's helped me out the most within the community, his name is Sequoia. He said something to the effect of, he asked the question, how much longer do you think BEPRO will be under, you know, 0.005? And I said, well, it depends. If it can break this, then 1 or 2 days. I don't know what the rest of the answer was, if it was this bearish or not. I probably got it totally wrong. I don't know. But after that question, I realized, wait, it might not be down there for very long. So I ended up buying about right when it was going up about right there. So you'll be getting it way under the point I got it, for example. So there are pretty big benefits to not necessarily trying to test your luck with some other asset that might not perform as well. Sometimes you just want to lock in your amount of BEPRO and then go stake it. And even though KuCoins is full, I think it's called AscendX. You can stake your BEPRO on this exchange. So since KuCoins is full, there you go. But I have not tested this. I have not used this site. I am not endorsed by this site. I know nothing about this website. I simply posted out to my Patreon community and asked a question, and this was the main answer that I got. So that I want to give you a big disclaimer. I do not know anything about this. I'm not supported by them. I don't support them. I'm simply giving you information that was handed to me. You can do with it what you want. All right. So, but yeah, BEPRO is looking pretty good. I'm not getting rid of any of my BEPRO. Yeah, I'm probably going to hold my BEPRO until I feel that Bitcoin gets way too hot, way too fast again. And that could take 2 years, and BEPRO might be at 25 cents. It might be at 80 cents. Might be at 12 cents. I don't know. But I'm definitely holding on to about that point. But everything's looking pretty good with BEPRO. I think it's starting to move up. You have the 12 is getting it pretty right on this asset as well. So they're both about the same age, I guess. That makes kind of sense. But 12 hours looking pretty good on this on BEPRO as well. It's getting ready to fly up. I think it's going to bust this pretty easily. I think BEPRO is going to come straight up to here without much slowing down. Honestly, it might go past this too. I bet it goes right there. Which, that's not really that impressive, is it? That's just 0.006. Yeah, but I don't see it slowing down until about there. I think it's going to ignore this local high, and I think it's going to ignore that wick there. I mean, it might bounce off of the off some EMAs here and there, but I really don't think you're going to get a slowdown and a pause until about 0.006. That would be my guess. Not even based off EMAs, just structure. I think this horizontal, it's going to pass. That wick, it'll pass. And I think it might have its... I don't know. I just have a feeling it's going to pass that as well. Come straight up to here. So that would be a pretty big run. I mean, if you're buying BEPRO now, I mean, crap, look, that's 1.7 times your money. $100 becomes 170. Ain't bad. So that's the short term. I already gave a long-term analysis on BEPRO, so you can just watch that if you have more questions about it. All right. Trias target. Oh, yeah, I already gave targets for Trias. $11. 𝐍𝐋𝐘. Yeah, that's a monetary coin that looks like Dash. I think it's going to have a strong move up whenever there's a parabolic move. That's what I think is going to happen. And I think it could be pretty major too. As in tens of thousands of percents. $65,000%. I would say something like that. I know it sounds ridiculous, but whenever it happens, it's going to be huge. It's going to be monstrous, but you have to sell on the way up. You can't just hold on to this crap. You have to put in your limit sell orders, and you have to create liquidity up. And what I mean by creating liquidity is when you buy it, you already need to be selling it at a future price. You need to do it ASAP, or else you can't get out of something like that. The volume's too low. You need to be somebody who creates, volume up, who allows the ladder to, you're essentially, when you place small orders up, right? Even though you don't necessarily want to sell that low, but let's say you bought at 10 cents and you start piling on orders around $24, $24.50, $25, $25.50, so on and so forth, every 50 cents, like $500 worth every time or whatever you're doing, or even closer together, right? Smaller orders. That allows the flame of the fire to grab more, twigs, and the fire will climb faster, I promise you. So if you're buying something with this low volume, when you get it, you just trust me, you need to put in your limit sells, like right after buying it. I would not go to sleep even the first night. Even if it doesn't sell for 4 years, I wouldn't care. Because what could happen is, who the hell knows? You forget about crypto for a year and you never sold it, and then it's near zero, right? Or you catch a big pop. Worst case, you sell it into Bitcoin, and then you wake up 4 years later, Bitcoin's in a bear market at like $250,000. 5 years later or whatever, right? So I would put your limit sells in if you're doing that. But that's not even the main reason. The main reason is you will not be able to press market sell on that. You got to sell on the way up. You got to be the person creating the ladder for other people, other new blood to buy it. So just be careful with low volume stuff. That is my main thing. And the cool thing about that, if you take the time to put in your limit sell orders, you can actually be the reason why price goes as high as it did. If you created those sell orders for other people to look up and grab up the order book, because that's what's happening, right? So if you, I don't know if, hopefully y'all can see me. Let me expand my ugly face here with this big red thing. Okay, so the order book. you have God, what the hell's on top? Is it green or red? I can't remember. Red on top, green on bottom. Okay, so let's say you have red and green, and in the middle you have nothing. It's just like the edge of everything. Red stuff, green stuff. So when you are looking to market buy, right, you are not one of those green people. That is a limit buy. When you hit market buy, that means I'm going to buy what the hell, whatever is up here in this red stuff, that's what I'm picking. And I'm going to work up the ladder, right? So if you want to buy 1 million Excel or whatever the hell this exclusive coin, you want to buy 1 million, right? And you see the red stuff, there's only like an order for 10,500, 80,000, 69, right? Or, some small numbers. And you realize, whoa, to get to 1 million, I'm only going to buy 500 bucks of it. But if I hit market buy, it's going to grab all of those orders, and the price, just after buying 100,000 is 5 times higher than what I want to buy it at. That's a thin order book, all right? And so for bots are looking up the order book, doing exactly what I just explained. They will not throw down on an asset if there is not liquidity there. So if they are programmed to buy a cross of, let's say, a golden cross or a bullish cross of an EMA, before they buy, they're going to scan up and look how many of those red orders there are based off of what it's programmed to hit in a limit buy. And if those things don't coincide, skip, go on to the next alert. And those assets will not be bought. And that's on the bots. And there's a lot of bot trading. So the main reason is that you want bots to buy your shit, essentially. Or whoever's hitting market buy, so most humans who don't know what they're doing, they don't look up the order book to tell what kind of crappy price they're going to get if they hit market buy with 700 bucks on a low volume coin like that, right? But you need to be the person taking those people's money who don't know what they're doing, or tricking bots. Hey, there's liquidity up here. Yay, I can buy it. And there are orders here. So I can hit market buy as a bot because I'm programmed to buy this cross. So yeah, this could be huge gains, but if you don't go take your gains the right way, you're gonna be stuck with your hands in your pants. Like, I don't know what I was trying to say there, but you understand what I'm trying to say. You're gonna be out of luck. So that's my rant on low volume coins. But that's what I like to do. I mean, I can 5x coins all the time by buying something that I know bots are going to buy. And then I just put in a bunch of limit sells. And then they all just blast off 5 and 6 days later. I made all sorts of money like that between February and March and April. It kind of tapered off in April. That's about all I was doing. Looking for stuff that bots were going to buy on small assets, and then putting my limit sells like between 1.5x and 8x, and it just went. I would say well more than half of everything I put in like that sold. So you got to create liquidity. So there's some secrets for you. All right, Tone. So this is versus Bitcoin, not the dollar. I think volatility is decreasing. And once it decreases enough, it has a chance of breaking up higher. I think it has to oscillate a little more. You had a big move down. I don't know what the hell this was. This is kind of out of the ordinary, just like a retest or something, another failure. But as you broke out of this definitively and retested it, you had a big oscillation up. And so I think these oscillations need to chill out, and this might take a while. And then it might break up. But I don't think it can break out of this with this much volatility. It has to go it has to chill. It has to cool its tits. So it could, do that sooner than later, but I think it has to calm down first. It's not just going to turn around like that. Most reversals are going to be some type of, soft landing. I'm just not sure this was landed. I don't know if that's going to stick as a higher low. It kind of looks like it wants to do something like that, which that could take, till this. Like I was saying, I don't think altcoins are going to perform until Bitcoin's over 60K, which I think will happen in about February. So look where that aligns. It should me just growing and crap. So I'll keep that there for fun, look back at it and here in 8 months or so. But I bet something like that's going to happen with the daily 200. Maybe a little bit more aggressive sooner, but it might honestly be some type of mirror image of what it's doing now. No, that'd be bad. Well, that would sure suck if it took that long. I don't know. I mean, I'm bent on things like Tone. They have among the most active blockchains in the world. They are kicking VeChain's ass in every way possible, maybe besides number of employees and how smart those employees are. Okay, they might have better employees, might have slightly better in product, but why does it matter if the end product isn't being used? And I actually doubt that their VeChain's end product is better, because the way you make stuff better is by having end user feedback and getting problems out of your product. VeChain doesn't know what their problems are. Maybe they've tried it by themselves, but they haven't had a bunch of paying customers saying this sucks, or do this better. Until that. So I mean, I think Tone really is beating VeChain, I would guess, in almost every way possible besides employee count, or but they're definitely beating them in revenue and profit. But none of that matters, right? It's the YouTube hype that makes a lot of crypto assets go up. So I'm kind of bent on things like Tone, because what do you want? To buy something that should go up based off of what is logical? Or do you want something that has the history of going up the most, even if that's what Moon Boys are going to be buying because you think YouTubers are going to talk about it? Now, there is a mixture of this. I do think YouTubers will pick this up, and I do think that this will have massive pumps if and when that happens. And it already started happening, but it happened right when Bitcoin was kind of pooping the bed here. And once, bigger YouTubers than me realize, wait, this asset actually is kicking VeChain's butt in almost every way possible. And somebody with 100,000, kind of like BEPRO. It just took one YouTuber with at that time 145,000 subscribers, and BEPRO went from 0.008 to 4 cents. That whole run. I got it from 0.002 to 0.0075008. But a big crowd got it all, just off one video. So it's mix and match. It has a strong potential to get that hype, a much deserved hype, but it hasn't been one of those sexy coins. So, and I've had a lot of people tell me how much luck they had off of just, maybe not Uniswap coins, because you can't sell that stuff even if you want to at times. But, NFT coins that went 10x, but they just decided to sell it 8x, and they did it over and over and over again because that was the flavor of the month. And whenever they 8x, they did really well. They just flipped it between NFT coins that might have gone on a run, and those are the sexy coins. So you gotta pick your strategy and kind of split strategies up so that not all of your portfolio is betting towards one thing. You want a pie that's cut into different and not an evenly cut pie necessarily. The biggest chunk over here doing whatever it is that you want this to be doing for you. But, some things, okay, I'll do a non-sexy coins. Some that maybe the biggest chunk is go for hype coins. Whatever's hyped. DeFi, NFT, cross-chain oracles. That would be my biggest chunk, for example. So in things like Tone, that might be the slice of pie. Okay, it's not sexy yet, but I think I will be able to buy it before it becomes sexy, because here are all the reasons it's going to be sexy and on YouTube and all this stuff and get a pump. Okay, reserve some of your, dollars to be allocated towards those guesses, like I had with Tone. But I had a hell of a lot better luck with MTV and BEPRO, I'll tell you that. And I'm very glad I sold my Tone, I think, at 8x profit for BEPRO, because I had like 19x my BEPRO. And then after I did that, I did really well on MTV with those profits as well. So I don't know, to each his or her own. I really want to like this coin, and I think it's going to be awesome. But until the day crypto is valuated for having a working product and revenue and profit and being profitable, like in the black, not in the red, I mean, I hate to sound like somebody who thinks, traditional market type of feeling should come to crypto, but gee whiz, that people using logic when they invest in something, Tone will do well when people are logical when they invest in crypto. How about that? But for the meantime, I'm going to try to make money anticipating where the Moon Boys are going to be before they're there. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to try to sell, when things are hot. And I think that's more profitable than trying to do things like scout out coins that have a working product, this and that. If it's not sexy, then I don't know. I wouldn't put that as the biggest chunk of my portfolio. So that would be my suggestion. So I'm kind of bent. I can't really decide personally what I would do there. Okay, AXS. All right. Everybody asking about this business. Okay. Just the 4-hour 200 EMA. What observations can you make from this chart? Just like this. This ain't answer time. This is question time. Yes, Ned, I know. I want to get back in really heavily to Tone here soon, but man, because I know that what's going to happen, it's just going to go straight to like 3 billion market cap. Once some YouTuber talks about it, it's going to fly. It's going to go insane. I need to get my Tone back. But right now I'm personally more heavily into assets more related to Bitcoin and monetary coins than anything. So, but anyway, so Yeah, tone's pretty special to me too. Yeah, Mike, you're right. So Mike says no liquidity and no volume in tone. You're right. And you know what? I just warned about that, right? And but I also showed folks how to play that. It can be extremely profitable being those types of coins if you play it right. So you might want to play back this video to where I'm talking about 𝐎𝐍𝐋𝐘 coin, exclusive coin. But yeah, no volume, no liquidity. As long as you don't plan to sell in the next month or whatever, and you plan to sell when new blood is coming rushing into crypto, you'll be fine. But you have to have your limit sales in. And it could be 5 years till that happens. Your coin might never get picked up by the retail people, so it could screw you as well. However, I think Tone has an extremely strong reason to be picked up. All right, so what's somebody, who's seeing what with AXS? We're not looking at price. We're looking at what I have already labeled as diagonal supports and resistances. So we already know from looking at this how I graph stuff. Price is, has made a lot of support here, or a lot of resistance, something like that, right? So probably more like this, down, up, 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 down, down, up. Price has done something like that. Ta-da! Yeah, even that was a good guess right there. Check that out. Oh yeah. Yeah, if y'all stare at charts long enough, you'll be able to do that too. But just looking from the 204-hour EMA, who's seeing what? Does this look like a good time to sell, to buy? What do you think? And it doesn't matter if this is AXS or not. All right. Hint, please. No, I don't know. I want to know what you all think. um, actually, I already do know what I think because my community already asked me about this. My strong sell. Oh God, yeah, yeah. That is a strong. Okay, I agree with that statement. Um, yeah, that is actually my. I didn't know price was that high. This is where I would sell it. I'm almost 100% certain that this line is out of play forever, just like that BEPRO line that I told everybody about that no one believed me. When I told everybody selling right now on the exact height of the the exact day, right? So I'm pretty certain it's never going to hit this line ever again. Ever. Well, what's the next highest line? This one. The next highest line? This one. So if this line's out of play, doesn't that mean that this next line too might be out of play? Right? It puts it at strong risk. If this one's a definite out of play, then this is a strong risk of being out of play. So a safer sell is the third one down. That's a very strong sell. Absolutely. I agree with you. I couldn't tell from this from the 4 hour 200 that it moved that quick. I would sell at least 60% of what I had. I would market sell it personally, but I don't hold this, so I don't want to say this for you, but I would sell about 60 and I would wait for this line to sell 40 or somewhere, in between. I would sell some until I got to that line, and it might not ever get there. It might just come back down and I sell a relief rally and whatever. So this could be the ultimate height, but one of these two lines will be the height. And then both of these lines will be out of play at some point, and mathematically, let me show you why. Okay, watch. Here's how I knew BEPRO's line was out of play when everybody, or no one believed me, and all the questions on my channel were, how do you know? What if it does, No, just listen to me. All right. So this marks, damn, it's the same year. Okay. This marks the new year. Okay? Watch. I will mathematically show you why the top line is out of play. So newer, if anybody here is new, what I'm about to show you, this could take multiple years to figure out by yourself. And it could be extremely profitable for you. So just check this out. Okay. So this line at the end of this year is $4,000. Okay. All right. Well, let's go to this asset, AXS, and let's go market cap. Actually, let's go to circulating supply. Multiply it by 4,000, and that would be your market cap exactly to the penny. You ready? Do you think this asset, 100, 1,000, 1 million, do you think this asset by the end of the year is going to be $243 million market cap? A $250 million market cap. Well, let's go see what Ethereum's market cap is. Huh. That's about the same number. Crazy. Isn't that crazy? So this line is out of play. It's not going to be as big as Ethereum is by the end of the year. This is done, over, never going to happen again. Hopefully that makes sense, right? And this is why I was yelling at people to take profits all the time. I mean, I think I was the only YouTuber literally yelling at people to take profits and sell stuff. And that's why it kind of surprises me that I get so much, I mean, I know I'm going to get flack from folks who are down, and I totally get that. But still, there's no one else out there yelling at people to sell, like to take profits and save your money. So mathematically, hopefully I just showed you that this is out of play. This is not, and honestly, if you think this asset's going to be as big as Ethereum by the end of the year, you need to go watch Sesame Street for probably 4 weeks straight, okay? With like a gag in your mouth and you pee in a bucket. You are stuck there watching Sesame Street for 4 weeks with only water. All right, so the next line, let's take a look. At the end of the year, this next line would put it at 24, let's just put 24.24. It's pretty close. So 24.24. Circulating supply. Okay. 147, or no, I said million. That's billion. I'm sorry. I think that's 147 billion. Hundreds, thousands, million. Yeah, sorry. 147 billion. So, or no, not billion. No, it is a million, right? What the hell am I thinking? Hundreds, thousands. Well, fucking hey. Jeez, the numbers have gotten so big in crypto. I remember when 1 billion was a big deal. Oh my gosh. That's kind of hard to say. Wow. Okay. But still, $147 billion. Do you think this asset is going to be the number 3 cryptocurrency by the end of the year? No, it's not. So, guess what? This line is also out of play. Now, if it touches it, though, before there, that's a monster sell sign. But it's out of play. So I would put my bets on it pinging off this a few times and then potentially never touching it again. I would honestly sell more than half of what I had. Personally, I would market sell about 60% in this exact moment. And then look to buy back lower and accumulate if I like this coin, or wait to sell some here with the idea that it's at least going to come back down to where I sold the first 60%. Because it could keep going, but I'm telling you, it's not going to hit this line ever again. So let this go down in history like a moment when Veracity had nasty bearish divergence, and right here I said I would sell here. And then I got made fun of for 45 days, and then guess who's laughing now, right? Um, or yeah, I really do think that that's what's going to happen. Okay, that chart is really easy to read. Just like I knew the exact day BEPRO was at a high, and how people were saying that's clairvoyant. No, it's not. It's just a trend line, and it's very basic math. It's not going to be as big as Ethereum, right? So therefore, if it ever hits that freaking line again, sell everything you have, right? For example, that is not financial advice. Talking about Pokemon cards or figuratively into things. But that's why it's just so easy to know when if it hits a line, sell. It's just math, right? I don't know. But I know math is not easy for everybody, so I don't mean to say it that way, but that is why. Okay, I think I just explained it like Sesame Street style. All right, never three, dude. French, you're gonna be dead wrong on that. French says Ethereum will never 3x, dude. I think you are dead wrong, but I don't know. I don't know. I think it's going to easily 3x, dude. I think Ethereum this run is going to hit 8K. That's more than 3x. I think 8K is kind of the low end. Yeah, Ethereum's gonna. I don't know. I I would not be surprised if Ethereum were 20K within. I don't know. Let's see here. Well, it might take a little longer than I was thinking. But I still wouldn't be surprised if it was to 20K within 3 to 4 years. Um, there's a lot of evidence pointing that it might get there a lot faster, but man, never 3x. Whew. Ah, I don't know. I I don't know why you would say that. I'm actually starting to get more interested in just buying Ethereum than anything, or Polkadot since I can stake it for 16%. But all right, so the questions are kind of falling off. Let me veracity. Okay, somebody's asking about veracity. Hopefully you weren't one of those people who made fun of me for selling there. Um, okay, I found my line. So this is going to be my origin line off of which I base everything. So I'm just going to put a bunch of stuff parallel to this and see what happens, okay? Watch the magic happen. Check it out, yo. All right, there you go. So this is what Veracity is going to do. It's gonna use these lines as support and resistance. So the way I was able to pretty easily find out where the parallel should begin is because there was so much interaction, both support and resistance, and then this is where it's stopping and turning around. So I knew that this was by far the most important line off of which I based everything else. It's pretty easy to spot. You can do the same thing on Bitcoin. Or any asset, as long as it has enough price history. But if it's a newer asset, you got to do this crap on like the 1 hour, and it doesn't work. So probably the most important one is going to be actually the one we're at, right? We just faced. This is by far the most important line in all of Bitcoin, by far. And it even marks the capitulation perfectly. And so all of my lines are based off of this, how it got all the market or the little local tops here, got the bottoms here, got the top of 14K, and it got the top of this. And it got the capitulation. So this is by far 100% the most important line in all of Bitcoin without a question. I don't think there's an intelligent argument against that. There could be. I mean, I could probably argue against myself, so I want to preface that. Honestly, I wouldn't mind arguing against myself. I could probably find a good argument. But, I mean, I don't think there's a more important line in all of Bitcoin. All right? So that's how you kind of like search for that sort of thing on whatever asset that you're trying to base these lines off of. So you can see these supports and resistances and trade a little bit better off of them and make a little better analysis. But you just saw me do it live on Veracity for the first time ever. So there you go. All right. Well, let's do the same thing for Veracity, what we did with AXS. So let's say by the end of next year, let's go like this. End of next year. $1.42. $4 billion. That's actually totally doable. I think it's going to pass that. So I think Veracity is probably going to pass that upper line. I think Veracity is going to go a lot higher than that. 4 billion. Right? Did I say 4 billion? Yeah. Times $1.42. $5.6, so $5.7 billion coin in a year and a half. So 5.7 billion. Yeah, I can see Veracity there. I think that's totally reasonable. Veracity could do pretty well. I think that is doable. Shit, I might buy some more of that. So 39 million. That's 102x. Or no. That's shoot. I said what? 6.7 billion or something like that, right? Well, shoot, even higher. Yeah, I mean that would be a pretty good event. If you over 100x something, that's pretty good. I think this asset could do it. I think this is a good one. I like what I'm seeing. It is not. So AXS. So check this out. This is doing the opposite of AXS. AXS started high, then went low, and is coming up as resistance. Former support becoming resistance on the way up. Former resistance now as support. That's way better than AXS's chart. I would way rather buy this than AXS any day. Like, I wouldn't even think about it. Yeah, it's not even close. Knowing very well that these are out of play. Oh, hell no. No. Yeah, Veracity's this is actually kind of a dangerous buy right now. This is a sell point, so a very, very strong sell. Hell, I wouldn't buy this asset till it breaks below this and creates a new line. That's when I would buy it back. Yeah, it's probably going to go sideways and make new lines. Just like ID did to me. Yeah, this is Veracity's a way better. I mean, Veracity actually looks like a very pretty buy right now, similar to BEPRO. Veracity looks, and what also looks like a good buy is Omi. I'm gonna give us some credit. Omi looks, it's been looking like a good buy for a while. And I've been saying that to my Patreon community as much as I dissed it, but I only dissed it because people were listening to Burnonomics BS on YouTube and buying it at its top. And that's why I was yelling, folks. Yeah, I mean, this looks good. Yeah, it's basing right on top of that. Yeah, if it can hold this and turn up, I would buy it when it broke above this high right here. That's when I would buy it, right there. I would love to do that. And if I missed it, I would buy a retest, something like this. Like, buying a second higher low really is a good time to buy something, I'm telling you. And if you don't believe me, all right, well, let's go to Cardano. Buying that second higher low is a good buy. It's way better than trying to buy a bottom, because when you try to buy bottoms, what happens? Oh, yes, I bought the bottom. Oh, no, I did it. Okay, I'll try it again. Oh, no, I did it. Okay, I'll try it again. Oh, no, I did it. I'll try it again, right? Don't try to buy bottoms. Buy higher lows. Even the second higher low, whenever that happens, is going to be a pretty good one. And so let me show you on a different chart. Not the right chart. Gosh, I'm so not happy that they try to hide their prior price history. So you did have a fake out here. Higher low, another higher low and a closure. But that was a good run up. I mean, that's double your money. If you weren't taking profits, then before Bitcoin's above its all-time high, then you're kind of silly. Because pretty much the rule of thumb is if altcoins are starting to scream, if your altcoin starts screaming before Bitcoin has broken its all-time high from previous cycle, you need to be selling into it. That should be obvious, but there are a lot of people who buy into this crap. I mean, obviously, because it went higher, but I don't know who in their right mind was doing that. All right, so buying a second higher low. Kind of tough on Cardano. Just went straight up. Right there. So zoom out. There you go. Second higher low. Yeah, 7,000%. Sure. Sounds good to me, right? Yeah, second higher lows are really good times to throw money at something. Sometimes even better than first higher lows because a lot of times first higher low can be a fake out. Even though it just kept making. Yeah, this was kind of looked like it had a series of higher lows. That was a hard one to read, but it was still on its way down though. Maybe even on like the 2-day scale. But anyway, like Omi looks like it's not at a bad spot, folks. I wanted way better than AXS. I don't know why there's so much hype about AXS, but I'm telling you, that is not something I would be buying. Strongly, personally, I would slap myself in the face if I bought that. Now, all right. Wait, Matic switched their name to Polygon? That's stupid. Matic, why would you change something that works so well? No way. Oh, they wanted probably to stay away from the SEC, so their ecosystem token could be legal. It might have to have a different name. Gee whiz. 1 cent. I sure as hell wouldn't buy this asset. Not right now. I would wait till it made a higher low. Look at this. This is just lower highs. I would stay 10 feet away from this. It hasn't even made a higher low yet. No way. No way would I buy this right now. No way. Let's look at it on this chart. So it went on a 15,000% run. Okay. So it's probably going to go sideways for a long time. And down. It's not just going to turn around after a 15,000% run, man. No, I would not get into this. Absolutely not. Has it gone? Okay. Or if it's gone 95% down, then maybe. Or maybe even 85%. It's gone 75, so that's still not close enough. No, I wouldn't even touch this till it went 85% down. Absolutely not. No way. And I wouldn't put most of my money into it until it was 90+% down. I'm telling you, that rule of thumb, it'll save you a lot of pain. Because this kind of crap, folks, it's probably going to take until there could be a double bottom in October. These things are going to bleed until that happens. It is going to be like this. I have a relief rally that comes up to something like here, but it's going to keep coming down when Bitcoin makes a double low. Not a lower low, but altcoins will continue going down. And this has a long way to go. I would not buy this. That is one of the ones I would stay farthest away. I would rather buy this than AXS. I'll tell you that. You could make something of this, but it could take, I don't know, I would say it'd probably take, it'll probably be back above this in like September. But I think it's going to have some more downside. But it probably, if you started dollar cost averaging into this, that's probably not that bad. I mean, it's 75% down or 65% right now. But I sure wouldn't throw everything at it right now. It's going to go a lot lower. Yeah. It's going to go significantly lower. I would guess it goes 85. I think it's going to hit this. This is where I'd buy it. I wouldn't even consider it until then. All right. Yeah, this is simply too big of a run. I would say it goes sideways and down for at least 180 days, 6 months. I would probably drag it 200 though. So I'd probably drag it to there. So I would say that it's starting to recover by 200 days, somewhere like this. I would say November, it might be back at $1.70. So I'm going to leave that there. That's probably a good U. It might actually go a little lower than that though, but something like that. But that would be like a moving average. I think it's, could go much, 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 much lower. So let me draw a second one, and I'll make this red. It could move like that as well. So yeah, I think that's a horrible time to buy that. Now, had it not gone up 15,000%, maybe, yeah, about 75% correction is right. It hasn't gone sideways and down long enough though. No, it's only done it 2 months. Shit, look at veracity. Only, well, I guess not only, but 9,000% instead of 15,000. It's been going sideways and down for 114 days. Matic has a long way to go. It's not going to go up for a while, I'm telling you. It's going to bleed. I think the final coins that were sexy, after Bitcoin was falling, I think they're finally succumbing. There was another one called Quant that was in an uptrend that I wanted to start trading. It actually looks pretty good still. I just don't know if it's forming lower highs now. Lower high, lower high. Yeah, it might be in a downtrend too. I think this is starting to succumb as well. I don't know. That looks like it wants to break up, but it might not. Oof. This is on the brink. Yikes. It really wants to. Ooh, that's a tough one. I think there's more buy pressure than sell pressure. I think this one's going to break up, but I probably wouldn't buy it at this point. That looks like a good posturing. So this would be a kind of an asset that I would be hesitant to buy, but I would be interested in buying it. Something like Matic, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole right now. Hell no. I think that would be silly. I think that would be a silly buy. So hopefully my answer, I'm trying to be super truthful with exactly what I'm thinking without trying to be nice. A lot of people think I'm a prick for doing that, but that's just how I communicate. That's exactly what I'm thinking. So, why are you why are you watching me? Do you want to know what I'm actually thinking, or do you want me to be nice? So I'm trying to, hopefully you appreciate that. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just kind of like naturally mean because I'm honest and very direct, and I don't care about what you feel. But I do care about you making money. That's what I care about. I do care about that. So trust me, but I really don't care what you think or what you feel. Because you shouldn't care what I think or feel either. To be fair, you should take the information that I provide and mix it with what you think and feel. I mean, you shouldn't care too much about what I say. You should just use it as information, and you judge what type of information it is, right? So, to be fair, I would say that about myself as well, from your perspective. All right, so what other questions do we got? Oh, deep onion and VeChain. Okay. Yeah, Matic changed name. Polygon think people will not notice. I would buy Ethereum. Yeah. I think Ethereum's one of the, I don't know. I would buy Dot. I would buy Polkadot over Ethereum too. The reason I would do this is because it has taken a beating, but from a, not even from a chart basis. I just think that this chart looks sicker than what the actual project is. And that's when you want to buy stuff. And you could stake this for 16%. So if I personally were to buy any big cap that I wanted to like chest pound, it would absolutely be Polkadot. Mostly because of the 16% staking. And because it's, I don't know, I think it's going to be one of the leader projects, if not the, perhaps the leader in non-monetary coins. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on that. All right. No, I don't do sushi. All right, ADB. Oh, we got some community coins coming back. How is that 2,000%? And this is two. Well, that sucks. I was hoping this was a lot less, but this run was actually bigger because it went so much lower. My God. It could go sideways for a while. There you go. That's what ADB is going to do. Final answer. No doubts about it. Actually, I'm going to leave that there. That's actually probably a pretty good guess. Um, yeah, that's probably about right. Okay, there's ADB. Yeah, it's gonna have a U shape. It's gonna take a minute. So what you're gonna want to see with most altcoins is you're gonna want to see, and honestly, I don't know if I should say this over YouTube. Some of the same signals that my community was looking for at the commence of the bull run, you're going to be able to look for those again. We'll just say that, right? So if you're not a part of a community who has hunted things, altcoins, I probably wouldn't get hopeful for this until you see that same sign that as the community we hunted over and over until they were all gone, or until the only ones left sucked. We weren't buying it. I still no, actually I did get rid of my ADB very, very recently. The only two altcoins I hold right now are West and BEPRO. Without staking. Um, and besides Deep Onion and Viacoin. So my bear market coins are Viacoin and Deep Onion. My altcoins, I'm holding BPRO and West. I'm staking BPRO, OLT, IDEA. Which IDEA has really bit me in the butt, but whatever. I thought I was staking one. I know I'm staking one more. Anyway, and coins that I'm more actively trying to get to increase without, considering it 3 year out money. I have it in the 3L coins. Even though I know that they have a decay, but that decay is about 1% every 20 days, so I'm totally fine with that. Obviously, not try holding it for 3 years or anything, but for a couple of months, I'm fine with that. So that's what I'm in right now. So I did sell my ADB, but I would be looking to get it back. I really think ADB is trying to meet a similar end goal as BAT through a different means, though. So the end you know, like going over the rainbow and clicking your heels is the end, is where you want to be, but the path to get there, you know, you're taking a red brick road instead, right? So it has a pretty good goal, but I don't own any right now. I did sell it. I got rid of it, and I got more into Ethereum and Bitcoin. But you didn't ask that, but I thought I would let you know. Reef, Verge. Okay, I'll look up this weird coin. You need to give me tickers, folks. This doesn't work. I'm not looking it up. I don't know what that is. You got to give me tickers. It looks pretty similar to Polkadot. See that? It's got a long way to go. But so does Bitcoin. I mean, what's going to happen what's going to happen in this asset's kind of obvious. This asset won't be very hard to trade. Watch this. This is what's going to happen. Somewhere between here and here. Actually, I do like this chart. This is an easy to read chart. Somewhere in that box, price is going to get above the red line. And it's going to start curling. It might hook just a tiny bit below, but it's going to curve back up. And it might go sideways for quite a while, right? So we're already to the new year. And it's not at all-time highs. But I think something like that is what's going to happen. And honestly, I don't even know if it's going to go to the bottom of that box. I bet it doesn't. I bet it does something like that. So that does say that, yeah, I really don't think that weekly 10 is going to go below this box. That's very, very improbable. Price is going to run into it to avoid that. So honestly, now it does look like a pretty good buy point. And now there is one disclaimer. It could continue making new lows. So kind of like internet computer company, just, crash through lows. It does look like it's in price discovery down. So I would personally not feel comfortable buying this until you see price get above here. Do you sacrifice a lot of price action? Well, let's see how much that would be. 30%. Yeah, freaking wait. Yeah, so I do like what I see potentially, but that 30% from here to here is not worth trying to get. I would take security, or I would take reducing risk over reward in that case, because the reward is not going to be high just trying to chase that 36%. Given that it could be in price discovery down, I would wait until it's closing weeklies above that. And it's going to happen somewhere at this box. So just hold out at that 30%, make money somewhere else that's going to go better than 30% between now and November, because this asset's not going to do better than that. It could go fly up, but it's going to come right back down to here. It's going to hit this box. I'm telling you, I don't know why I feel so confident with this chart, but this chart to me is like one of the easiest to read that I've seen in a while. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I don't know. I'm just feeling it with that chart. So it could be in price discovery down, and so I definitely warned against that, and therefore, because that could happen and I could be dead wrong, I would forget about chasing that 30% and I would wait to buy it until there. Hopefully that's a fair assessment. I don't know what this is, but I personally would be interested in buying it as long as the market cap isn't that high. And it looks a lot like Polkadot. That's a small mid cap. Looks like a pretty healthy chart here. Doesn't look too bad. I like the chart. No, I don't like the chart in a bullish way, but I like it because it looks very tradable. Okay, that makes sense. What about Expert Crypto? Yeah, I really appreciate him giving me a shout out and all that stuff. That is a really pretty website. And my 3-year-old is obsessed with being a mermaid, which is why I have a busted ass nose. Because I have to take her to the pool almost every day. Gosh. This is a neat website. This is awesome. It's clean and usable, understandable. They don't say stuff like Byzantine and like or whatever and talking over people's heads to sound cool. Um, it's cute and fun at the same time. This is a I don't know. I like what I see here. It's a very tradable chart. It's at a pretty good market cap point. I mean, still like almost 200 million in investor money. You know that's still kind of not a tiny market cap if it doesn't have revenue. So I don't know much about it, but I do like what I see so far. Um, Now the chart is the ugliest part about it, but in terms of readability, I like it. Okay, so I want to be very clear. I don't like this in terms of bullishness yet, and honestly, I wouldn't be bullish about it until it broke out of this, and that's probably going to take a year and a half. It's going to take a while. It might take only a year, but it's going to be a while. This is not going to break out, so that you just have more time to be buying it. But this could be your little U bottom, or it could be just the beginning. You don't know. All right, so there's that. Yeah, I like that. Thank you for mentioning that. Sometimes just charts yell at me, and then I end up liking the website and the project too. I think charts are sexy, and this one isn't sexy, but I don't know. I just like it anyway. I don't know. Probably because of this is so obvious. It's not. Yeah, price is not going to let the 10 EMA get below there unless it really does start tanking. But I don't think it will. All right, cool. That's what we got there, bro. He loves you. Oh, cool. That's good to know. That's good to know. Um, yeah, I mean, I am really appreciative of him. All right. Oh, this is holding. This is a good posturing. Whew. Okay, so what I'm seeing in this chart is this. So a pattern in crypto is a lot of times before a big move, right? You'll get volatility, 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 and just like a wave function, right? So just a guitar string plucked. So right when I plucked it, it's this part, right? The string is moving and oscillating and vibrating faster. And so a lot of times your power moves come from here after the volatility calms down specifically. And sometimes you could get a big breakdown off that. However, what I'm seeing here, not only is it doing that, volatility, woo, but it's making a higher low and a stronger posturing in the process. 2 higher lows, 3 higher lows. I don't know. This looks ready to go. Now, it could break down. I want to be very clear. If Bitcoin breaks down, this breaks down. So don't forget that I said that. However, this chart in and of itself, it looks like it's ready for a power play. It looks like it's ready for a powerful move up. And I want to show you what I mean in Bitcoin. For example, let's take off price before I do this. And let's do something like the daily 10 to 21. Oh, there we go. Nope, too short of a time frame. Weekly. There we go. You can actually see the oscillations in these. All right, this is what I was talking about. See that? Volatility, oscillations, 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 and here we go. And a lot of times it could break down from there, but you can actually see the oscillation. It might be more like the 2-day chart that I'm trying to look for. Yes, sort of. So you can see here without any price that these two lines are converging. And if on the 2-day chart I brought on other stuff, I bet you other lines are starting to converge on this as well. You're getting a lot of EMAs squished in this range. Just watch. So I'm on the 2-day chart. All of them are squished but one. The daily, they're all squished. And they're posturing under the one that's being the obstacle. That's pretty good. And again, it could break. Sometimes things break down from here, and it does depend on Bitcoin. So all the daily EMAs are converging. I can take the 55 and 89 off because it's lived its whole life below there the whole time. And you can see here, look, when did it move up last time? When these converged. What are they doing now? They're converged for even longer. Yeah, that's the type of stuff I like to buy, especially when price is suppressed. I like buying things when they're sandwiched between these two EMAs. It's a pretty stupid, simple way to make money in crypto. Hint, hint. But it could absolutely break down first and try again. That could happen. Yeah, I like what I see. I bet OLT is doing something kind of similar, but maybe not quite as strong, though. I bet OLT's might have a little bit lower on the red here. But let's go look at OLT here. Yep, the red. So it hasn't actually cooled its tits this long. So I think COV is actually more ready than this is because you see the separation. So by here, the lines were at their maximum distance away from each other. So volatility, technically, like on the weekly scale, was at its max there. And then volatility started reducing here as these lines converged. So its first conversion flip here, volatility, boom, boom, boom. And this is probably got to chill until August. So COV is more ready than OLT, but I was kind of assuming that their charts were going to be pretty similar. Let's do this on Bitcoin or on Ethereum. So they're starting to converge, which means, honestly, it kind of does mean it has a slightly stronger chance of breaking down. But a lot of the big pushes do come when these do converge, and it avoids the cross, which is what I think is happening in Ethereum right now. It's going to avoid that cross, is what I think. So you can see some other big moves. Actually, Ethereum might be too young of an asset. Well, I guess they converged all the way here for like 200 days, and then your big final move up. Yeah, Ethereum's just a little too young. I bet you can see it on the daily, though. Actually, let's pick the 2-day. There you go, right there. This is what I'm talking about. So I think on the weekly, Ethereum might do something like this. It might barely cross, do a bearish cross, and then work to undo it really quickly. Something like this might be about what happens here. So let's take a fractal of this without even looking at price. Right? So, holy cow. Wow. Whew, that was a powerful move. Let's just go to here. Let's not get too ambitious. And I'll move it to the weekly because I want to compare that price action to the weekly. And this would have it go below the yellow. That's about right. That's kind of about what I'm thinking. Maybe a little extended time frame, but that is about what I'm thinking is going to happen. Yeah, I think that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to flirt with all-time highs around the new year. So, and that would make the EMAs line up and on different time frames, of course. But I think the red and the yellow are either going to barely cross or not cross at all. And I think Ethereum price is going to undo the cross if it does cross. So, and I think it's going to look in a U shape like that. Yeah, that looks about right. I'm going to have to go soon. Verge. Okay, XVG, you've been asking. Sorry. Which is the one with all the prices? There it is. Okay. I think you have to get rid of this. Chart doesn't make sense with that. Or this. I mean, none of that makes sense. I would say here. Okay, so that's out of play. Because Verge is not going to get up to 400 bucks or whatever. Because the market cap would be too big. There you go. That's doable. All right. Yeah, so all of this is out of play. You need to not even look at this on Verge's graph ever again the rest of your life. It's no longer in play. No line over this angle is in play anymore. Out of play. The confidence with which I say that is fairly high. It could make a play up just a little bit higher, something like this, but that's it. It's I'm almost certain that any angle higher is completely out of play. So if you ever saw it, if you ever connected these two little heights here like this, and you ever see Verge get that high, that's you need to sell your Verge Pokemon cards, like all of them. Yeah, so this price action's all trash. Yeah. This one might be. This one could be in play. 16. It's got too much circulating supply now. How do you do Oh wow, it hadn't flown up yet. What? 23 cents by December. 6 cents. Why is it? There it is. Wait, what the hell is this? Oh, wait, December. Oh, when I go to the chart, it doesn't keep the historical. Okay, that so I'm being stupid. Dirt. All right, so it had a circulating supply of 14 and a half. So I mean, on a percentage basis, that's significant, but so circulating supply is 14% bigger, which means it's been inflated. So the price clearly isn't going to get that high, on that trajectory ever again. Um, I think it's coming down to there. I think Verge is going to hit this right here. Scoop up right at that horizontal too. About like that. So I think it's going to go down and sideways the rest of the year. Kind of like everything else. Yeah, I think it's going to hit this one of these two, or if not, that exact. Actually, I would say where that wick is, right there. Yeah, it's probably going to hit this market structure right there. So I think Verge, somewhere near the end of the year, will be in this box. Just like the last time I guessed this on Ethereum, it worked out exactly correct. And this is probably going to work out too, but it might not. It might be more bullish or more bearish. I don't know, but this is probably a pretty decent guess. Just to let you know, I'm pretty good at reading altcoins and major market cycles. It's just Bitcoin with Wyckoff and people crashing it is what I didn't get right. I would say right there. I won't even make a big box. I think it'll hit that box. Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am. Maybe I'm missing something. Hold on. It has a chance not to do that. It kind of looks like it wants to. Oh. Yeah, my contacts are getting dry. I gotta stop. It might stop at this line, actually. Which would give you a really nice horizontal from this wick over here. And this, or no, not this one. Sorry. This market structure here. But that's pretty high up. Like, I don't think this is going to stop it. No, I still think that box is going to happen. I think it could stop here, but no way. No, it's not going to stop at that market structure. It's going to go lower than that. There's no way that's going to hold support. No way. I think it's going to more act as resistance on the way up. So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing on that chart. I think it's got sideways and down to go. All right. But check out. Okay. All right, let's look at B plug. Sounds like B cash. All right, no butt plug, sir. You need to ship me a better one with a ticker on it. I was really hoping that was going to pull up a chart. Damn it. Came out at a bad time. Most of those 2018 coins are dying or dead. Just a heads up. I wish I had more price history on this. I know this isn't it. I know it was way up here. Like it came crashing down like everything else. Anyway, I'll just draw in my crashing downness. So let me draw this. Okay, that's the Elastos chart. All right, now let's look at price action. I mean, it's one of the weaker ones in the market, I'll tell you that right now. Very, very weak. It's up 34% from its bear market stage. I don't know. That's bad because I know the chart looks like this. I don't have much good to say about it. Yeah, it's in price discovery down. It looks like it's going to keep going. That's I don't see any hope for this, um, at all. It can't even form a higher low. It's not going to hold that. This is going to keep going lower and lower and lower. Yeah, that's not something I would be in. Yeah, the 10 and the 21 are gaining steam away. So volatility. So since these are separating instead of converging, volatility is expanding to the downside. It's going to keep going lower with a very, very high likelihood, at least versus Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin forms that double low and it's losing versus Bitcoin that whole time, it's going to go even lower, which is how this happens. That's how altcoins get destroyed. 99%, 98%. Because, yeah, on the dollar, it's done going down. But it's still losing versus Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin double bottoms, bam, they all make new lows. I'm telling you. That one's going to get hurt. That chart is going to get hurt badly. Yeah, most of those 2018 coins, even though Tone came out about there as well, but to be fair, I don't know. Lastos was one of those ones that was piggybacking off of Neo. I rode that. I used to follow Crypto Bud, who was a Neo cheerleader and all that stuff, and that's all his channel had turned into. I don't even know if he's still doing it. YouTube, I don't know the answer to that, but he came into be turned into a neophyte because Neo went crazy. He rode that up pretty high, and he probably didn't sell anything. But yeah, I think the buzz of Neo's out, and so I don't know. I think it's lost its luster unless something else happens. But I think Elastos and Neo I thought they were in bed with each other. So just be careful with 2018 coins. I chose one, with a lot of caution, Tone, but it was the eighth most. Let me expand myself. Tone was the eighth most used blockchain in the world for month after month after month after month in 2019 and 2020. That's why. So where's Elastos on that? So I don't know. Be very careful. I would guess that project will be done rather soon. Is what I would guess. Unless I see it on here, then I will change my mind. See, Tone right now is number 14 most active blockchain in the entire world, even more than Bitcoin Cash, more than XRP, more used than VeChain by a mile, more than double, almost more than Bitcoin. And it was more, depending on the week, it is actually, the blockchain is more active than Bitcoin's, but it's all from customers. Or it's not all. It's not true because people buy and sell and all that stuff. But it's since it's such a low market cap with so low volume, it's primarily through its customers, paying customers. Yeah, Lastos isn't on there. I would guess it's done. That would be my guess. More than Verge. Ken is the one that was like number one and number two. Finally, they demoted it because it was all fake volume. That's the one. Ooh, good. I didn't know. Oh wow, Zcash is above. That's a big deal. That's actually a pretty big deal. Um, unless the trading volume for Zcash is what's holding it up that high. See, look, Doge isn't used for jack shit. You know it's getting all sorts of trading volume, and it's still not even close. For all that trading going to the blockchain, there are more transactions on Tone than on Doge because it has paying customers, right? So I mean, so where's ELA? It ain't on here. Yeah, it's gonna die. No one's using it. They've had 4 years to turn a profit, and they haven't sold anything. They don't. It's probably gonna die. That's what I would say, and that's why I like monetary coins better than blockchain businesses, because they're very, very prone to die. All right. Oh yeah, trading Tone is a really good asset to trade. You're totally right. It's been so horizontal. Yeah. So I was talking about the chart of I don't even remember what it was called, but the asset that with the fish and the under the sea stuff on the website. I liked that chart, and if you like trading a chart, it doesn't matter if you like the asset. All that matters is making money. So if you like a chart, trade it. Like for example, I've decided to trade Cardano, and you know what my thoughts are on it. Yeah, Tone's range versus Bitcoin has been pretty parallel. I mean, you have a middle, like, little point of control right there. Have a low. Kind of another lower point of control about right there. And that's about it. That's a pretty easy chart to trade. And that's going back 3 years. Yeah, it's a horizontal chart instead of one of these. It hasn't done this yet, so you won't be able to draw these diagonals until it takes off, which it probably will. Oh wow, that takes it out to there. Gee whiz. All right, I'm gonna have to go. Before I do though, let's just see like a kind of an angle here. Let's just guess an angle. So let's say Bitcoin pops around May of next year up to 180K. And when that happens, Tone is at this line versus Bitcoin. Quadruple 011. That hit $2. And that would be a market cap of 1 billion. Because the circulating supply is roughly half of a billion. So that's actually a pretty good guess. It's kind of where I wanted to sell it, was between $1.25 and $2. Yeah, but it doesn't have any diagonals yet. That's the weird thing about it, and that's why you like trading this. It's been horizontal. I mean, that's badass. But it's going to break out of this sooner than later, but trade it while you can. Like, sure, sell the hell out of this line every time it touches it until it breaks out. Sell it until you can't sell it anymore. Because then when you can't sell it anymore, guess what? It's going to come right back down and test it, and then you're going to be able to buy it. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, this is a really neat chart. This is an easy one. All right. I got to go, folks. Oh, come on. All right. No more. I'm not going to look at your questions after this. I mean, it really depends on Bitcoin, but so go to the beginning of this stream. I started off with Bitcoin. I related 3 charts, and I mathematically showed the agreement between 3 charts and 3 different types of math that all align together and they converge. Why Viacoin, whenever Bitcoin has a run, Viacoin will likely end itself up over here somewhere, and that lands around 70, 80, 90, 100 bucks if it happens at the end of next year. And I mathematically align it across charts. So go to the beginning of the stream, and yeah, should be go. All right, perfect. Hey, thanks y'all for being here. And I really wanted to be on the stream mostly because of Bitcoin moving, but y'all asked about altcoins, and I guess that kind of goes hand in hand, because if Bitcoin's going to move up, now's the time to know what altcoins are going to do too. So the last thing I can suggest is I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to outpace the vast majority of alts until October, November, December, January, February, somewhere around there. Because that's when Ethereum, or at least Bitcoin, probably not Ethereum though, that's when Bitcoin's going to make all-time highs, and that's when altcoins will take off. But until Bitcoin does it, I swear the vast majority of altcoins are just going to go sideways and down, or maybe start making a U. And Bitcoin's going to kick their asses in terms of money you're going to make holding it. Not all of them, but the majority, which means Bitcoin dominance will probably continue going up until Bitcoin breaks all-time highs. That's what I'm saying, okay? All right, so peace out, but be careful putting all your money into alts. Think about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we'll see you later.